Good morning, gold seekers. This is Tim from Blue Lead Gold Productions. I'm back on the South Yuba at our Old Faithful spot, and it's a beautiful thing to see how far the water has dropped. Water is way down. I've certainly seen it a lot higher here this year. And down the end of the cobble field here is I think we're going to start working today. I mean, all these areas in here have been pretty heavily worked at this point. Right over here was where I was working earlier at the beginning of my trip, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to head downriver here past this, down past where all these cobbles are dropping, and there's a there looks like there might be dropout zones down in that direction. We'll try to work some of the gravels and see if we can come up with some gold. I've got my safety glasses on because just for the novelty of it, I am going to see if I can attack this crevice right here. If you look at this stuff is pretty damn well cemented in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make much progress. I got a rock hammer. The gas pry bar is back up in the car, up at the, top of the trail. I could always bring the gas pry bar down tomorrow, but I'm just going to give a couple of these rocks a whack or two with my rock hammer and see if we can unpack this stuff. I think this is exactly what we would call a two-toes approved crevice, because this shit looks, pardon me, because this stuff looks welded in. Don't use one of these without some of these. But when you got one of these, you can do a whole lot of damage to the crevice. Gary, you would have approved the tight pack in this crevice. I don't know if we're getting gold out of the damn thing, but if you take a look, there's some of the rounded heavy stones that were just wedged into this thing. Like, take a look right down here at this. This is what it looked like. It was just packed and cemented. For about the last 20 minutes, I have been using the rock hammer, the Marion crevicing tool. God bless the Marion crevicing tool. A little trowel and actually a spoon. Spoon's good for digging out the dirt. So I've got a pan load ready to go here, all classified and looking pretty. The best stuff would obviously be from the bottom. Gary might say, Tim, don't even bother with that stuff from the top. But I worked so hard to get this stuff. I'm going to pan out and see if there's any gold in it. Well, there it is, crevice fans. The first picker of the day. It's not one of those North Yuba pickers. It's somewhere on the border of poker and picker, but if I can pick it up and put it in the snuffer bottle, we're going to count it as a picker. So there it is. It's been picked up, and it's going to go, get that in the sunlight there for you. It's going to go in the snuffer bottle. I got some other flakes in there too. And the rest of that pan had a couple nice little flakes in it too. So that wasn't a bad little pan. Okay, so you can see we are making some major league progress on locking this crevice. I got my hand in the camera about, 14, 16 inches deep into it now. And dug a second pan of material out here. Those are the rocks that are just wedged in there like cement. Unlocking the crevice is, there's a certain zen to it. You cannot be impatient, and the little ones have to fall before the big ones can fall. Sometimes little things have to happen before big things can happen. And you can't get impatient and just start banging on the big rocks and trying to pull them out, because you're not stronger than the river. The river put them in there. But if you work on the little stuff, sometimes you work out the small stuff, the big stuff follows. And that's the way this particular crevice has gotten unlocked. And if there is one thing Sensei Two Toes has taught us, it's all about the gravel. Here's basically a gravel bar that I'm standing on. This is a very large piece of gravel. I don't know. I mean, these look like great big. This is the bedrock here, but these are boulders that have been broken off and washed around in the middle of the river. And here's a closer look at the gravel that's washed to the top of the pan. We'll show you how much black sand we get too. All right, so here is our black sand. There's still a little bit of light sandy material mixed in there, but that's probably a good strong 85% black sand. And I think we are going to have some gold at the bottom of it. Well, as you can see, we have really unpacked this crevice at this point. And I'm going to scrape out the rest of the dirt that's down here at the bottom of it. I was hoping for something to pick up and put in my pocket. Unfortunately, that does not seem to be the case today. But we did get some more little flakes in this pan, so I'm going to snuff them up and finish that crevice off. I gotta admit, I've been getting spoiled by that gnarly, chunky North Yuba gold. The gold down here at Old Faithful is like tertiary river gold. It has washed around in rivers for millions of years and gotten all flattened out for the most part. And it doesn't generally have the same type of gnarly and swirling character that the chunky character that the North Yuba gold does. I really love that North Yuba gold. And there's nothing wrong with South Yuba gold too. I like that too, but all gold is good gold. But I really like that. Well, all good crevices have to come to an end sooner or later. The sun is getting warmer. I'm thinking about taking my first swim in the Yuba. I do have one last pan of crevice dirt, and I think I've gotten about 5 more pans of crevice material than I was expecting to when I started into this thing. I have done my best, but my arms only go so far. Take a look. Look how far down it. I mean, I can still dig a little further, but at this point, I think I'm going to leave this for somebody with longer arms than me. And we've done a pretty good job of hollowing out this crevice. So, with no small sense of regret and no small sense of accomplishment, I'm going to say goodbye to this crevice. I'm going to do that last pan of dirt, and I'm going to go find somewhere easier to dig. Alright, so all good crevices have to come to an end. We did get a couple little flakes out of that last one. It was fun, it was zen, it was a jigsaw puzzle, it was a Christmas surprise, it was all the good stuff we like about gold sticking to unlock that crevice. And I know Gary would have approved of the pack that was on there to begin with. I almost gave up because I said I'm too old to be out here pounding on rocks in the hot sun, and it is getting to be hot out here. So without further ado, I'm going to sign off on crevicing. I'm going to head for one of these nice cool areas to swim. And this is Tim from Blue Lead Gold Production saying aloha.